Hey, what's up guys, Finisher here. We're going to be crossing pet control today, pet management, whatever we're going to call it. I use about 2 macros for pet control, really, and then the others are more for just defending pets, really, and stuff like that. Okay, so first macro I use is pretty simple. Basically everything's jumbled up into one macro and it actually works, you see. So the first one is basically what it does is it tells my pet to attack my target and also the mouseover, but it also tells it to leap over to that target or the mouseover, and it also tells it to gnaw that target. But the thing is, it will only cast the stun if it's in melee range. So if I want my pet on the target, I just press that, it leaps over, it gets over there, but it doesn't stun him at all. It ignores that. But when he's over there in melee range and I press it again, he will stun. Okay? And it also works as a mouseover. And then I do the exact same, but as a focus, basically, but that won't work as a mouseover. You can make them work as a mouseover, but whatever. So I use those 2 macros for control. So those 2 macros mostly focus on getting your pet around the enemy team in arena or great battlegrounds. The other macros I have really defend it. So I've got this macro here which casts death coil on the pet. People use like shift modifier death coil, so it's all in one, but I just like to keep it separate, the death coil on the pet, keep mine that completely separate. So that's helpful, you know, because if your pet's losing health, you can just cast a death coil on him. Unfortunately it doesn't generate blood taps anymore, they nerfed that in this patch, but what the hell. The other one I use is this one, but this is only really viable in blood, and frostspec. It basically uses raised dead and death pact, but you don't want to be using that on Unholy, actually, ignore that. The other macro is simply huddle, spelled wrong for some reason. Keep behind that wherever you want. You can't really just put it on your hotbar, you have to make a macro, so it's just /cast huddle. Remember, all these are going to be in the description, obviously, I'm not stupid. Here's a macro here that just shows tooltip leap. Basically, if I want to see leap on my... actually, I don't need to anymore, basically. It just shows leap on my bar, so I can see when it's off cooldown. This is a really good macro. This is called my pet passive macro. Basically, if I tell my pet to move around the arena, basically... oh, I just died. Ignore that. Basically, if I move him around, he doesn't. When I tell him to do something else, he will go back to the original place where I told him to move. But if I press this macro here, he basically will come back to me by using passive. He'll come back to me, but he'll also start following me as well. He won't just like stay on passive. He'll come around and start following me as well. So it's great pet control. Basically, if you tell your pet to go out and do stuff, this one will just return him to normal. So it's just /passive, pet passives /petfollow. Another macro to note when it comes to pet control is a focus at a mouse over. So basically, whatever you're mousing over, you click it and it will put that mouse over on focus. It's definitely an important macro to have. Okay, so let's now see the macros in action. I'm going to drill this one here, and I'm going to show you first macro. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to leap towards the target. It's going to start attacking that target, and then it's going to stun it. But it's all in one macro, but the thing is it won't do it all in one. It will only do the stun if it's in melee range. Alright, so let's zoom in. Actually, I can even get rid of the display. Right, the pet is going to jump over, starts attacking him, and I press it again, and he stuns him. You see that? And then he stuns him. All by one macro. Right, let's see focus. Okay, so this is basically the same macro, but on focus. So you can imagine I'm attacking this target, the Warlock's pet right here, and I'm going to press the macro, and he's going to jump over to the focus. You see he's attacking him there, and I press it again, and keep pressing it there, and then he's stunned. And that is on focus. Okay, so the first macro doesn't just work when you're targeting somebody, it also works when you're mouse overing anybody. So I'm gonna just I'm I'm going to tell the pet to leap over to the warlock and then go and attack the his pet. So if I just do that, I can also, with a mouseover, not even targeting, stun. There you go, he's stunned. Tell him to jump over there, but it won't jump over there because it's off cooldown. Attacking the pet, mouseover, going over there, going over there, going over there. And that's press of one button. Okay, you may have noticed in the mouseover macro part that I was targeting whenever I mouseover. That's because I've made a third-party macro. Don't worry about that, what won't happen. When you mouseover, you won't target the mouseover, that will never happen. That's just because of my special razor gear, okay? Okay, so now let's see the pet passive and follow macro. Basically, I'm just going to tell my pet to move. There he goes, moving over there, it's moving over there. Trying to get a charge stun on a warrior, which is very helpful. And I'm going to press the macro, and he just simply returns. Very good speed as well. And he's back on follow as well, obviously. Back on follow. It's not. See, when you go move to, it basically stays on that unless you click follow and passive. Okay, now let's see the huddle macro. This is sometimes helpful if somebody's focusing on your pet or doing some damage to it. Basically, it's just gonna put him in huddle, and then if you tell him to move, he will come out of a huddle. You know, the thing is, he stays still when he's not in dark transformation, but when he's in dark transformation, if you pop huddle, he will still carry on to move around. I'm just gonna do the passive one now, and there he is. Okay, so I have some unit power now. I'm gonna cast a macro which heals my pet. Basically, I'm not even targeting my pet, and it will do a death coil on him. Big heals. Okay, thanks for watching the video, guys. Last thing to note is to always keep your pet on passive, especially in arena. In rated battlegrounds, it's not so important, but you know, because in rated battlegrounds, you always want the pet on your target so you can get that stunning. So I'd actually recommend putting him in on assist in rated battlegrounds, but on arena, always on passive. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to the video. Ciao.